Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of ADHD and Crochet. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be sewing some elastic and some lace to some fingerless gloves. And we are going to be using actual sewing thread and a sharp needle. So right now the gloves are inside out. We're just threading our needle, maybe. It wants to cooperate. Now, this is the first Sunday of uh, November that this is going to be released on. You guys are watching on, maybe. Um, but I am recording it still in October. So, you happen to see my bright orange shirt. That is why. And I accidentally made my string a little bit odd, so I'm just adjusting it here so that I can make my knot on the end. Because unlike yarn, sewing thread very thin. And to prevent it from going through, I'm just going to make a couple of teeny tiny knots here at the end. And it wants to be difficult. There we go. Made our knots. And start sewing. So I'm actually going to start here at the wrist area with the elastic here. I'm just going to go under the elastic so that my knot is hidden under there. We can snip that thread later. Now, these gloves are actually going to be part of my Halloween costume. So if you remember, one of our last videos was my witch hat. These are some gloves I'm going to be wearing with that costume. Sticking with that cottagecore harvest fall witch vibe. Now I'm going to make two seams on the elastic here, but I'm not going to go all the way around because I want the elastic and the yarn to be able to move. I'm just going to put my stitches right where the thumb hole, the seam is. Keep everything laying down flat. And I'm probably going to leave my pin in there for a little bit longer until I get the other seam started. Pardon me. to adjust where this is laying, otherwise it's going to bother me. We're gonna just, grab everything as usual with our stitching. And there we go. So we've just got two little seams to hold the elastic in place. We're just gonna make our knot underneath here. We're gonna do that a couple times just to make sure that it's nice and tight, since I can't grab hold of it and pull it like I can normal yarn because it is so delicate. But as usual, we're gonna hide our string underneath here. We're gonna go in and snip, snip. And just to clean it up a little bit, we'll go ahead and snip this as well, make it a little shorter. There we go. Now we will move on to the lace of this one. So I'm going to go ahead and make another knot here. And hopefully this one will cooperate a little better than the last one. Half this video is probably just going to be me attempting to tie a knot on a teeny tiny string. Now the reason I decided to make these gloves is because I could not, for the life of me, find brown lace gloves that came as a single pack. They all came in like a pack of 6 with like other colors that I won't wear and don't need. So I just kind of said, okay, I'll just make my own gloves. They won't be full lace, but it's fall. It's fine. Stitches are probably going to be a little far apart on this, but that's okay. I'm actually going to make sure last little section here of that top lace to help it lay flatter. Now this area does not need to stretch for me, so I don't really need to worry about how tight my stitches are. Because this is the part that is going to be near my fingers. As always, I did not make this pattern for these. I will give credit to the artist. These ones were a free pattern, so I can even include the link for them. Pardon me. Now, something you may have noticed on a couple of my last videos, or at least throughout October, a portion of it, um, was a link promoting an artist, a good friend of mine, and I've left some comments about it. I kind of started this after I had recorded the videos, but a friend of mine has actually begun making art for various merchandise, so like t-shirts, hoodies, magnets, all that fun stuff, greeting cards. Some of them are holiday themed, others are just cute and kind of funny. They have a very almost cartoon style to them right now. I think it's really cute. I really like it. I will be getting some at some point. I plan on getting the Thanksgiving uh, greeting cards because they're funny and I like them. If you want to support a local or a small business, a starting up artist, oh, there's Panzer. You can go to that link, see if there's anything you like. And when she gets her YouTube channel up and running, I'll be sure to provide that information as well. At least said she was planning on getting one started. And wants to grab everything again. The dangers of working with a sharp needle. You might poke yourself. Now what's cool is I actually used this same lace to modify the skirt that I'm wearing for the costume. Put a this lace around the edge of the skirt. Just gives it just that little bit of a finishing touch. It helps tie in the fact that I'm wearing a white shirt with it. Now I'm going to do a second row of stitches, so I'm just going to go up a little bit and go back around. Just helps keep it secure. Gives more contact points for the lace to lay down here. And then once we get all the way around again, we'll flip this glove right side out and do the next one. Now, I don't know how long these will take. We do have another project lined up. It doesn't take our 45 minutes to an hour. Hi, Panzer. I don't really have room for you, sweetie. Are you gonna get up anyway? No? Okay. He's gonna go sit in the window instead. Now, it may look like the lace is uneven, laying uneven here. How close it is to the edge, how much is hanging over the edge. That was done on purpose because this glove goes all the way around my hand. And the lace, I wanted some of the lace to lay over my fingers, and the other part of the lace is going to go near my palm, under my hands. I wanted to be a little shorter. That's where my hand bends. Now, I could have just not put lace there. I decided to put lace there anyways. And just keep going around. The seam here has gotten a little bit closer to the first seam as we are at the top of the glove. The lace is going to be shooting out a little bit more. Is this a commercial worthy seam? I have no idea. Probably not. Then again, I've seen some of the commercial products and they're not great. Alright, so back where we started, so we're going to go ahead and make a knot here. And there we go. And snip, snip. I'm actually going to leave that like it is. Alright, so now we're going to push that through like that. This is what the outside of the glove looks like. So this is the bottom of the glove. Looks like that. The elastic helps it stay snug on my wrist so it doesn't flop around or fall off. I bend my fingers down, make a fist, and that lace is not really in the way. You still get a nice flat laying lace on the top. I know this is the bottom because of these ridges here. They are all the way around, but there's supposed to be one right here. I chose not to do that so I'd know which is the bottom. I did not follow the pattern exactly, as I tend to not do. And I also added a thumb hole that I don't remember being discussed on the pattern. So I did change a couple of things on it. Not having that extra ridge was actually an accident at first. I didn't read the instructions properly, and I messed up the first row of the first glove and didn't realize it until later. I guess it was the second row of the first glove, but still. But it ended up being fine because I'm like, oh, I could just put that on where the palm is, it'll lay flatter. So on the second glove, with the opposite, and did the last row of the glove to match the first row of the first glove, which made it different from left and right. And, you know, it's totally on purpose, guys. This pin is unfortunately in the way, so it's gonna have to go. So we just have to hold on a little bit. I'm gonna have to let go so I can rethread my needle. Looking at the time, we might make it to at least 45 minutes with these. Would be cool. I'm going to need a new thread before I get to the lace. It doesn't want to cooperate anymore. It told me it was done. But it's going to do one more little stitching on this elastic, whether it likes it or not. And of course, everything I do has cat hair in it. Wildlife chronicles of things in my backyard. We found an orb weaver, big pretty brown spider. I probably have mentioned it before, but I can't remember. I'm mentioning it again. because things have changed with her. So originally, she was by my air conditioning unit, which is right outside my office window. It was pretty cool because I could just look outside and see her, see her nest, not her nest, her web. It was a big, pretty web. But I couldn't help myself and decided to temporarily catch her to see if she was a male or female and to get a better look at her. So that, of course, upset her. So she moved her web, moved it to the front yard. And instead of like by the tree or anywhere else that kind of made sense to get away from people, she decided to make her nest directly on our front porch, specifically up against the house where a sitting bench on the porch is. We didn't really mess with her, but we did sit near her because we do use that bench. She did not like that, so she moved to the side of the house. Now, of course, we spotted her and went over to check out her web because it is a work of art and very pretty and cool, and she didn't like that either. So she moved her web again. We didn't really go near it this time, we just kind of looked from afar, but we still saw her, and I guess she made eye contact, which we wouldn't know. While she is a big spider, she is still much smaller than us. We can't actually see her eyes, especially not from a distance. So she moved again. And this time she's chosen my back porch, right next to my back door. Now, my back porch is not really a porch, it is like a 2x2 square that is covered and leads directly to a set of stairs, like 4 steps that lead to the ground. So there's just this little 2x2 square between the back door and the steps leading to the ground. She's in the top left corner as you're leaving, close to the open air. So she's on the side with the steps, but every time you close the back door, it makes her nest wiggle and it upsets her. She's not very good at picking spots. It's pretty funny. And she is a spotted orb weaver, if I remember correctly, or just big brown spider. I think she's gorgeous. She has like almost red stripes. They're ambery looking on her legs. She's got otherwise a brown body with a very unique shape. And the underside has these black spots. Why she's probably called the spotted orb weaver. It's because of those black spots. And I know she's female because for orb weavers, it is the female that are the ones that build the big nests, the big webs, and stay relatively stationary. I'm hoping she lays some eggs so that we can have more of her about come spring. These spiders unfortunately do not overwinter, so they do not find a warm spot to be in the winter. They just kind of die, which is unfortunate. But their eggs do survive the winter usually. I would love to see some more of them come spring. They are free pest control and free decorations in fall. kind of funny. We leave our back porch and front porch lights on at night. And because we do, of course, we attract a bunch of moths and small insects that tend to be attracted to light. So we also have like 1,000 spiders outside. I walked out one night to put something in the trash because it was the night before the trash guys come. And I just kind of open the door and look over, and there's like 10 spiders on my wall. I'm just like, okay, y'all are paying rent by keeping the mosquitoes to a minimum. I'm just going to leave you alone. Our zip code is shared by a lot of spiders. And I don't mind it really. I obviously think they are pretty cool. We have one big one that lives under the siding on the corner of our house. Got a little web going. It just kind of tucks itself under the siding. And then whenever something touches its web, it like pops out. It's pretty entertaining to watch. Like the grumpy old man pops out, sees what's touching its lawn. I only saw it because a grasshopper got spooked by me and jumped directly onto the web. The grasshopper was a little too big for the spider, so he just popped out and started smacking it with its front legs, trying to get it to go away. Bugs are such weird creatures. You don't think they have personality until you really watch them for a little bit. And some of them don't. Like, worms tend to just be wiggly. They don't want to be touched. That's about where that ends. But slightly more intelligent creatures like spiders and scorpions and praying mantises, which we did find a praying mantis recently. I probably said the plural incorrectly. Pretty sure it's just mantids. Oh well. Grammar is not my strong suit. English is my first language and I'm not great at it, but I don't think anyone is. Oh, Noodles decided to explore today. He's out in his enclosure. Like he's going for his morning escape attempt. Put some sticks in his enclosure. He's actually using them. He's only using them to try and escape, but still using them, so I'll take it. He is a ground snake, so I don't really expect him to hang out on there, but gives him some enrichment. to hold on to while he's attempting to escape. So he is a little less likely to hurt himself by flopping to the ground on a failed attempt. Actually, my first time attaching lace to a crochet project, and I think it's turning out good. Pretty sure lace is just another. You can make lace while doing crochet. There's a lot of ways to make lace. I'm actually considering figuring out how to weave a basket. So, but I may just crochet one. At least for now, for Halloween. I know it's November at the time of that this is coming out for you guys, but I'm still in Halloween mode. Well, we're getting pretty close here. A nice starting video to get into the month. A little bit shorter, but not short enough that I can start another project. So we've made our little knot, and we can sit very carefully. Go, and just kind of get rid of the extra. And now we can turn this one right side out. Now this was the one that I did first, so this was our first row, whereas this was the last row. but they do go to each hand. I have a pair of custom fit fingerless gloves for my costume. Obviously, I won't be wearing my compression gloves underneath. For Halloween, I will be wearing jewelry. But these can also be worn in other times of the year because they are nice and warm as well, with that nice lacy look. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Happy November. If you liked the video, please like the video, hit that like button. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe. If you have any suggestions or anything like that, you can leave a comment. And again, I will have a link available to my friend's art store. So if you want to take a look at what she has, you can. And if you'd like to support her with me, that would be great. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one.